Hello, welcome to Just Prime. As part of this video, we are going to see how to build a chatbot application for a streaming response by using Spring AI, and we are going to use the Google Vertex AI as an API to get the response back. And to build the chatbot application, we are going to use the React.js. So let me show you the full tech stack what we are going to use it. So to build the service we are going to use the Spring Boot as a Spring AI service, and as part of that we are going to use the WebFlux to get the a streaming response. And to build the UI component, so we are going to use the Node.js, White.js and Bootstrap. So these are the three components we are going to use the to build the chatbot application along with the React.js and Node.js. And as an API, as a Gemini API, we are going to use the Gemini. As part of that, we are going to use the Vertex API. We are going to use it. So let me go in little detail, a little deep. So generally, we can see as per the previous video, we have seen how to build a chatbot application, but here we are going to use two new concept. One is the WebFlux. Why we are going to use the WebFlux? We are going to use the WebFlux to build the response such a way that it should give the streaming response part by part or piece by piece, not everything together. So that's the reason we are going to use the Spring AI and Spring Boot along with the WebFlux. And to build the chatbot application or to call the REST API, we can use the Axios, but Axios will not support the a streaming response for handling. So that's the reason we are going to use the event source to make a REST call and to handle the streaming response. So these are the two things we are going to use it. Webflux to handle or to generate the streaming response, and event resource we are going to use the event source we are going to use to capture and to process the streaming response. So these are the two things. Before building the service, let me show you the existing problem statement. If in case if you don't have this webflux and streaming, event source, how we are going to handle the when the response is taking more time to give the response back to the user. What is the different, what is the difficult we are going to see, what is the disadvantage if you are not handling the streaming response, if you handle everything together. So what is the problem statement we are going to say it. So I have already built a simple chatbot application. Let me show you the chatbot application. See this, so this is one of the chatbot applications. So here currently we are going to use the Axios to make a REST call to fetch the response, and we are going to display at the chatbot side. And as a service, right, so I have already implemented a simple Spring Boot application, and which will make a call to your chat model. So in our case we are going to use the Vertex AI, and we are getting the response back and we are giving back to the user. Okay, that's it. So what is the main disadvantage? So let me test it, the chatbot application. So let me ask a question. What is Gen AI in 5 para? So I'm asking a simple question, what is Gen AI in 5 paragraph, right? So to get the answer paragraphs in 5 paragraphs, so it's a huge response. It should give the service should give the response in 5 paragraphs. It might take some time. So let me run this query. See, it is taking lot of time to give the response back. Till that user need to wait, and it will give the entire response one time. Okay, so that is the main disadvantage. Let me fire the query again. So when we are asking a query, so we user need to wait for such a long time to see the response, to see the complete response, but it's not giving even partial response also. Just we need to wait for a long time, and then entire response it will display one time. So that is the main disadvantage. So to handle this kind of scenario, when the response is taking more time, we know to a customer no need to wait that much long time. So to avoid this problem statement, so we are going to use the a streaming response. So to build that one, what we are going to use, we are going to use the webflux, and we are going to rewrite our service. So this is our service. So we are going to use the webflux. Instead of returning the entire response one time, we are going to return as a flux as a response, and accordingly so the part by part response we are going to return back. So this is one thing. We are going to write a new service, and the second portion is, So if you see your chatbot application, we are going to use the Axios. Axios cannot handle the a streaming response. Even if you're trying to return a streaming response, it will wait for a long time to receive all the response, then only it will give back the response to the rendering part. Till that, it's just holding everything. So this is the disadvantage. We cannot use Axios for to handle the streaming response. So that's the reason we are going to use, or we are going to replace the Axios with EventSource. So these are the two changes we are going to do it. One is we are going to write a new service by using the WebFlux, and we are going to return the flux response instead of direct string. And to handle this kind of service call, we are going to use the event source. So these are the two changes. So first thing is, write a new service let me write a new service which will give back a streaming response. So I'm going to write a new service, and I'm going to use the stream user. Okay, so this is my API, and get stream response. So I'm going to write a new service. This is called a stream answer, and I don't need user ID. I'll just return the response directly. I'm not going to use any chart memory because we don't need it. Chart memory, we don't need it. If you want, you can use it, no problem. Just to make it simple, I'm not going to use any memory. I'll just call the uh, a chat model, and then I'm going to get the response in the form of flux, and that should be in the format of string. So I'm not going to return entire string in one shot. I'm going to return a flux as a response. And another thing, the main thing is, the return type should be, it should be produce it should produce a media type of, it should produce a media type of text text event stream value. So this is what we have to return it. It should not give as a directly a JSON. It should give a stream value of text. So this is the one of the change we have to include. Two changes. One is the service should return a flex string, and it should return a type of a stream. So that is the way your event source will wait for the response part by part till completely it's returning it. So this is the two changes we have to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to implement the portion how we are going to read the streaming response. So let me write the code in the backend. So now what I did, I have just implemented the service. I get stream answer. So the produce type is a media type, event stream value. This is one change, and the return type should be flux string. So these are the two changes, and the implementation is just slightly, I have changed a little bit different. So what I'm going to do here, right? So if you see here, right, so the chart response, what we are going to return it. So we are going to use this a chat model, and we are going to call the stream. So we're not going to call directly the prompt. So we are going to call the stream, and you can pass your prompt, and it will give the flux of chat response. So from that we are trying to extract the string portion, and but only one thing, we are just trying to add a delay of 100 milliseconds so that we can able to simulate the response. We can give the word by word little bit slowly, such a way that we can see the very slowness, and we can see the behavior how our chatbot is implementing. So that's the main purpose, and we are doing some format of the response what we are trying to get. That's it. So we are just adding 100 milliseconds for every word when we are trying to return back to the a chatbot or the response. So this is the way we are building a streaming response from the chat model, and we are adding a delay. So that's it, the service is ready. So now what I'm going to do, the second the second portion of the change what we discussed it. So what I'm going to change this Axios call to event source such a way that it can able to handle the a streaming response. Now Axios can able to handle non-streaming response, but if you want to handle the streaming response, we have to use the event source. So that way it can able to get the response and part by part, and it can able to manage it fully. So that is the uh, main benefit of the event source. So let me rewrite this code to replace this Axios with the event source. So let me rewrite it. So now what I have done, I have rewritten the chatbot code. So I replace the Axios with the event source. So from the event source, I'm going to pass the URL. So what are the new service I have built it, stream user, and then I can pass the query, and I'll be getting the response back, and I'm trying to display it. So this is the major change what I have done. Instead of Axios, I replace the call with event source, and then I'm passing my a streaming API call and the query. So this is the one change. So let me start the service back. So I'm going to run the chatbot application. This is the first part. So let me start it. So this is starting. Now I'm going to restart our service. So let me start our service. So our service is up and running. So let me clear the log, and let me check our application. Let me reload it. So our service is running, our chatbot is running. So now I'm going to test our application. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask a question such a way that it should give the more response. I mean, it should take more time to give the response back, and it's more text. So let me ask a question. What is generative AI? So this is the question I'm asking, a simple question. What is a generative AI? Let's see how the response will come. So let me fire the query. Yes, if you see, the response is coming, and the streaming response, it's not waiting for the full response, it's giving the response a word by word or very slowly, but still whatever the response it's we are getting from the service, we can able to see it. So that means we can able to manage, or we can able to process the a streaming response, whichever it is coming. It could be the slow, a word can be come very slowly, but still we are receiving the response part by part, and we can able to display to the user without halting the entire screen or process. So this is the main advantage of the streaming response handling by using the webflux from the service side and the event source at the chatbot application side. So though the response is coming very slowly, you are receiving the slow response, whatever portion it is coming, and we are trying to display to the user without halting the entire process. So we can see the response, though the response is huge, but we are getting part by part. So let me ask another question. What is Java usages in development in in 5 paragraph? So this simple question, I'm just trying to ask what is Java usages in development in 5 paragraphs, such way that it should give the more response. I'm expecting a more response, and let's see how it's going to response. See, now the response has started coming back, and we can see the response, whatever portion is coming, it is trying to receive it, and it's displaying to the user. User no need to wait till full the response returning back from the service. So that's the main advantage of the stream response handling by using the webflux from the service side and event source at the chatbot application type to make a rest calls or to read the response part by part. So that's the beauty of the stream chatbot building by using the streaming API and the event source to make a call to the REST services. So let's see. Yes, now we can see the full response is returned back without a delay. but though we are receiving the responses very slowly with 50, what is, yeah, we had given 100 milliseconds, so the response is very slow, but we can able to receive properly. So let me ask, who are you? See, the response is coming very slowly, but word by word, but still it's displaying very properly. So that's the beauty of the streaming response by using the WebFlux and event source. Okay, I think that's all about this video. And if you like the video, if you can subscribe to the channel for more subsequent updates, and thank you.